Well, welcome back, everyone. You've heard the phrase, time flies when you're having fun. Well, I think we have new meaning for that. So this morning I'm over on Lake Avenue and I run into our Uber mayor, Joanne Yepsen, who's celebrating 100 days. 100 days.
100 days.
Since you've been mayor.
That's right.
Okay, so first, congratulations.
Thank you.
And let's just, no hard news, let's relax. It's Friday.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, good. I'm glad to hear it. What surprised you the most?
With the first 100 days?
Yeah.
I think just how many people want a piece of the mayor. So I knew that I wanted to be an accessible mayor, and I very much want to hold all elected officials accountable for their actions and for being open and transparent. That's why I ran for government 9 years ago. Is to open up the governmental process and get more people involved. But I think the city has got just a lot of, many people in the city that want to get their voices heard, have opinions about issues, and are clearly involved and can be extremely helpful. So we've been having just 9-10 meetings a day, and I think that I really knew that I would be busy and that this was going to be much different than being supervisor. But I think there's all these people that want to meet with you because they want to express their views and have ideas, and they want to make suggestions about the direction of the city or one particular issue. But then I have a whole set of initiatives too that I ran on and that I want to be sure to try to accomplish in my first 2 years. So I've been very diligent with my staff, who are also new in City Hall, about setting forth a 100-day plan. And I really think we've checked a lot of the boxes, and I feel good about that.
Oh, I think you have. You know, immediately, some of the things that hit me. When you were running, you ran on a platform that said, I want this office to be more transparent. All of a sudden, we're seeing town hall meetings. You know, you handle the city council meetings very differently, and you know we cover those every time.
Yes.
And also just small things. I noticed when I came over into the office, no barriers.
No.
You know, people are there to talk to you. But little did you know, right? Baptism by fire.
Yeah. Well, I think it's a good sign. You know, first of all, people are eager to work with the new administration, and that's great. And people have really good ideas. So I don't want to ever shut anybody out, but it is really, really busy. I just, because I'm also out of the office some, representing the city on some bigger regional issues, and clearly in Albany a lot to make sure we get our fair share and that we're heard.
Right.
So those relationships are very important to me. So just, you know, and I was with the 5 regional mayors yesterday in a HUD summit, and I think we all agreed that we just have so many balls in the air.
Right.
And yet we go into the office thinking that we have a plan for the day, and by 9:15 in the morning it's changed completely because of something that's happened in the news or a call that we got or an emergency meeting that we need to have. We're changing direction all the time. And I think that's part of being a good leader, is recognizing that day what needs to take care of, what do we need to discuss, what are the issues that the people care most about, and how can we benefit the city by holding a meeting or taking our own initiative.
And listening.
And listening,
You know what I mean? Of course.
Yeah.
How's your personal life?
What personal life?
Well, you've got 3 kids, I know that.
And thank God they're all a little bit older
Yes, right.
than they were when I first ran 9 years ago. I don't know how anybody could do this job with 3 little kids at home. I certainly couldn't.
Right.
My time is completely dedicated to being mayor. People ask, is it a part-time job or a full-time job? And I say, it's a lifestyle.
It sure is. Now, you
That's
were
what
a
I mean.
supervisor for 8 years prior. You've been involved in the community in all kinds of very interesting nonprofit organizations, 25, 30 years. You know, I was reading some of the bio stuff earlier. And, but 2 things I really want to compliment you on. First, I want to say we'll have you back for a much broader interview on some of the issues with Michael Lenz on Beyond the Headlines. But there are 2 things that I just want to really comment on. First, Code Blue.
Yeah.
Which was a wonderful initiative in a very harsh winter that we had. Hats off to you for taking care of that. And also veterans. All the time you constantly bring up veterans issues, which I know affects everybody, regardless of the age.
The other difference that we have as public officials, and I think this is when you're really effective, is when people that you meet affect you personally. And I have met so many women veterans and so many veterans that need help. One of my favorite parts of this job is being the voice for the voiceless, and people that don't feel like they're being heard. That's an extra challenge for me, and I want to do something about it. So when I went to Nancy Pitts's funeral at my church, and our church is very open, we do funerals for people who don't necessarily have a congregation. I talked to all her friends, and I talked to the people that were living on the street, and found out that from the other cities around us, that they all have a code blue. Why doesn't Saratoga Springs have a code blue? And this was in December, before I even took office. But it needed to be done, and I think all the work over the years that I have done with nonprofits allowed me to know exactly who to call, and had the relationships built already. We put it together within just a couple of days, and we were open by Christmas Eve.
I know, when we went to cover that, I was stunned by it. So, well, you actually answered my last question, which is, what's the favorite part of the job? And I don't think there is a favorite, because you just hit the ground running. So congratulations on 100 days, and we'll see you back here again.
Thank you.
All right, now it's time to relax.
Thank you.
Good, okay. See this interview again, you can head to our website, looktvonline.com.